Good afternoon. Welcome back to another video. It is now Tuesday the 17th of September and yeah, the race taper has now properly begun. I came home for the weekend back to my parents' house just so that I could get my last long run in. So I ran 27 kilometers on Sunday and it didn't feel too bad. My legs felt pretty tired from about 19 kilometers in, which I suppose at the end of the day isn't to be unexpected, considering we're now basically right at the end of the marathon training block. There's been a lot of kilometers run over the last 3 months, and I also did a route that was quite hilly as per my coach's instructions, because training on the hills is just going to make me stronger come Berlin, because Berlin is pretty flat. I mean, it's not flat, there are a couple of little hills in it, but it's nothing compared to Great North Run or some of the training I've done. So yeah, that has only got to be a positive. So as I said, Tuesday today, I am not 100%. I'm not sure if you can hear. I've got a little bit of a cold. I'm hoping this is all it's going to be and that it's not going to come to much more. Which is pants, but also at the same time really good timing, because better this week than next week. And it's still plenty of time. I did at least still run today. I still ran my speed session this morning, so that was good. I didn't really feel like I couldn't run, which is also good. Just a little bit frustrating, but hopefully not the end of the world. Just got to prioritize hydration, fueling, sleep the next couple of weeks, and we should be okay. But yeah, so we're at the next sort of phase of the training, which is now the taper, and I'm glad for it. I've been ready for it, but then at the same time, I've actually set out that this is now the third marathon I've trained for, and this has definitely been the most enjoyable of all the marathons so far. And I think there's a few reasons for it. I think I've just had a better marathon training block. I worked out I've ran about 500 kilometers during this training block. 8 of my runs have been over 21 kilometers. 5 of them have been more than a half marathon. So that's got to be good. That's so much more than I did last year. So when I went into New York last year, I only managed like 2 runs that were further than a half marathon. So we're in a much better position. I've PB'd in 3 distances during this marathon training block, which is more than I could have ever hoped for. And yeah, it's just felt so different. I think because in some ways I've had put less pressure on myself. Like there's been more pressure. I've put more pressure on myself, but less pressure. I've also been quite consistent. I've been showing up for training pretty much 3 times a week, running wise, for the last 9 months. I've also been pretty consistent in strength training this time around. I've actually been working with a strength training coach kind of thing for a personalised training plan, which focuses on my weaknesses. And it's also made it into something that I kind of enjoy rather than something that I feel like I should do, which is good, because I'd like to make sure I carry on with my strength training post Berlin. And I've been the most boring person in the world the last 3 months. Very little has come in the way of my long run. There's been a couple of times I've had to shift the long run a day earlier, which has meant taking a day off work to be able to do that. But in general, I've also had far less stress at work, far less pressure. I mean, don't get me wrong, the summer holidays is like my peak busiest at work, but at the same time, we significantly increased the size of our team this year, the team that I manage, which has put so much less pressure on me in other ways, because it's meant that if shifts need covering at work, I haven't had to do them, I don't want to say I haven't had to do them, because it's never been the case that I've had to do them. I felt less pressure to have to pick them up, because there's so many more people on the team now who are willing to pick things up and willing and able to pick things up, which is great. It's been so good for me. Like, I've actually managed to basically prioritize my Sundays for long running, which is, yeah, really, really good and helpful in itself. So, understandably, the nerves of Berlin have kind of kicked in a little bit now. I'm going back to my house today, and the next time I come home will be like the week I go to Berlin. So that's kind of terrifying. It's also kind of a little bit more stressful now, because like the thing I own more or less now is at my house. So I've got to make sure that when I come home next week, come back to my parents' house next week, because we're going from here to Berlin, I actually pack everything. So I made a list last night, and I just got hope that I remember everything. I think I'm generally feeling okay. I still panic a little bit about Berlin and the cut-off. The cut-off is 6 hours 15 minutes for Berlin, and it's a very strict cut-off from what I've heard. But I'm just also reminding myself that I run 2 marathons, both of which I haven't trained anywhere near as much for them as I have for this one. And I completed both of them in under that cut-off time. So there's absolutely no reason why I should be panicking about that. But it's just that little thing in here just makes you worry a little bit. But I think in general I'm excited. I don't really know what time I'm definitely aiming for. Like, I want to run it in less than 5.5 hours. That is my absolute goal. But based on my training, I think I can probably aim higher than that. Possibly even like 5 hours, 10 to 5.25 hours. Possibly even 5 hours. So I'm supposed to be having a chat with my coach next week to just firm up plans. But I don't want to put too much pressure on myself to then not enjoy it on the race day. But I want to beat my time goal. And I think I'm capable of doing so more than I kind of think I am. So that's got to be a good thing. But yeah, it's now, we fly to Berlin next Thursday. And then I'm planning on going to the expo on Thursday when I get there on Thursday afternoon. So it's open 3 till 8. 3 till 8 or 3 till 10? I think it's 3 till 8. But we get there Thursday morning, so we should have plenty of time to go to the expo. But yeah, otherwise, yeah, I'll catch up with you again later. Good evening. It is now Saturday the 21st of September, which means it's only 8 days till marathon day. I really don't know how that's happened. But then also at the same time, I'm going to put you down here. I really don't think it's dawned on me yet that I'm running a marathon next weekend. I don't know, maybe because the nerves aren't quite there in the same way, because I have completed marathons before. But I don't know. I've still got a bit of a cold, following on from my latest recording, which is a bit of a pain. I don't feel too bad, thankfully. I'm just a bit snotty. But that said, my coach encouraged me to try and go out for a little run today, just to see how things felt. And I just did 2k and it was fine, which means I will be okay to do my longer run tomorrow. When I say longer run, it's 1.25 hours. It's going to be like 10k, so that's fine. My plan is to try and get packed tomorrow, which is a bit annoying. Like, basically I'm in my house today and tomorrow and Monday. But then I am going back to my parents' house on Monday. And then I'm working from home Tuesday. I'm off Wednesday. And then we fly to Berlin on Thursday. So the reason why it's a little bit of a pain is because all my stuff is here. So I kind of got to just try and pack for like a week and a bit. Because not only am I basically got to pack for like 2 weeks, because I'm not going to be at mine for like a week and a half-ish. So yeah, basically it's still like a week out from race day. So I don't entirely know what the weather's going to be, what I'm definitely for sure going to want to wear. So I've kind of just got to pack a few bits and probably then repack at my parents' house this week, if that makes sense. So I've started, I'll show you. But I'm kind of losing the will to live tonight now. It's just requiring a little bit too much brain power than I've got right now. So I think that'll be a tomorrow job. And the plan is to not set an alarm tomorrow and just go out and run whenever I get up. It's looking a bit miserable weather-wise tomorrow, so no matter what time we go out, it's going to rain. So it's what it is. Going to have to run in the rain, but it'll be fine. And yeah, just got to then try and get packed. Yay. Yeah, I'm feeling a bit stressed by the packing right now, but I'm sure it'll be fine. I think some of it's because I'm not 100%. And also because some of my stuff is actually in my parents' house. Like all my energy gels are at my parents' house, as are my electrolytes, and a few other little bits like that. So I've got to try and remember to pack them. But I have made a list, look. Got a list. So I've got a list on here. Oh no, you can't see it there. Look, list. So I have got a list. I'll work it out at some point. It'll be fine, I'm sure. Worst comes to worst, apart from the one thing I don't want to forget or have any issues with is my energy gels. Pretty much everything else, I'm sure worst comes to worst, I could buy. Obviously energy gels and race kit. But absolutely worst come to worst with race kit, I'm sure I could find something in Berlin. It's not ideal. It's not what I want to happen. But yeah, I'm sure worst comes to worst, it will be absolutely fine. What else it is? It's also little things like trying to decide, do I want to take shampoo with me? Am I going to want to wash my hair? Things like that. Like things like little things that you don't even... But then equally I could be like, well, if I really want to wash my hair and I don't take stuff, I'm not going to Timbuktu. I could always go and buy some shampoo. See, difficult decisions. I don't know what I want to do. On plus side, I did manage to get some sweets. My plan is to give my parents a few sweets, and hopefully if I see them on the route, I can grab a couple of sweets from them. That is my plan. I'm sure it'll be fine. But equally, worst comes worst, if I forget those sweets, Germany's the home for Haribo. Buy Haribo. Good morning. Happy Sunday. This time next week, I will quite probably be running a marathon, which is exciting, but scary at the same time. So this morning I've had quite a lazy morning. I didn't set an alarm. I just woke up when I woke up, which was still like 7:30. But that's fine. So then I got up, had some breakfast, and then came and lay back in bed and watched some TV in bed, which was quite nice. I don't remember the last
time I did that. I don't remember the last time I had a lazy Sunday morning. It must be like, 3 or 4 months ago now. So plan is to go and do this little run this morning. It's about an hour-ish, depends how I feel. So my coach has basically said, if I don't feel right at any point, just stop. There's no point pushing it today, because literally nothing I do in the next week is going to make any difference whatsoever for Berlin. So it's just a case of being sensible. It's also blooming miserable out there. It doesn't look like it's raining at the moment, but I think it probably is. So I think I'm gonna get a little bit soggy. Never mind. Yes, the plan is just somewhere between 45 to 60 minutes, and yeah, just see how everything feels and just be sensible basically at the end of the day. Don't push it. If I'm not right, stop. But that said, I think I'm definitely on the mend now. I'm definitely less snotty and everything than I was. But that said, like, I don't know if you can see this morning, my stress on my watch, you probably can't see it, has said I've had a very stressful morning, which I haven't really. I've just been lying in bed. So that's like one way that I've actually can monitor recently how my body's been coping with being ill, is the stress levels on my watch, and also my resting heart rate. My resting heart rate is actually, again, I'm not sure you can see this, we'll see, it's actually like settled down, like it's kind of gone from here to sort of down here. That's got to be good. But yeah, plan today, just go and be sensible and see how it goes. And also I need to pack today, and I also need to try and clean my kitchen. That's the other thing. But yeah, that's all for now. Afternoon. It is now Monday the 23rd of September, which means we have made it to race week, and I have made it back to my parents' house for a couple of days before flying off to Berlin on Thursday. So I'm more or less packed already, and that's purely because I had to pack before coming back to my parents' house. So I thought I would take you through some of the running stuff that I've packed, and just kind of maybe a few different things that people don't necessarily think about when packing for a marathon. So without further ado, let's do this. Okay, so first things first, this is all subject to change, and I do want to go back through what I've packed in my suitcase before we head out to Berlin, probably on Wednesday, just when I've got a better indication of weather and temperatures and all of that stuff, because it's okay me packing now, but everything might change again in a few days' time, and I can probably slim down some of what I've got in that bag. That is my plan anyway. But anyway, this is my bag I'm going to take on the plane. We are flying out BA, which means I don't have to worry about luggage, particularly because we get a bag, like a little bag plus a bigger bag. So this is probably a bigger bag than will go under your seat, but I can have a bigger bag anyway, if that makes sense. We actually quite well on the flights. Thanks, Dad. Dad actually booked them using his air miles, so we've paid like 30 quid each for the flights, which is nothing, and it kind of makes up for the expensive hotel. But anyway, this is what I've got. This is the running stuff that I've got in here, because you don't need to see everything, in amongst a few other bits. So I'll start off in, no, not that pocket, in one of these pockets. I've just got some electrolytes, because I will be drinking probably one of them a day in the lead up to the marathon. Also got my prescription sunglasses in case I decide I want them on race day. Also got a mini power bank. This will charge my phone up a little bit. It won't charge it up all the way, but I might take this with me to the start line, and then just keep hold of it, and then if and when I see Mum and Dad, throw it at Mum and Dad, basically. So that's it there. So you should generally always, if you're flying out, you should always try and carry your race kit in your carry-on bag, because if anything happens, at least then you've the race day kit. Because race day kit is the one thing you really don't want to mess up on, you don't want to forget it. Everything else you can probably get out there, but the race day kit, you've trained in it, you practiced in it, so we're not risking losing that basically. So I've got my Adios Pro 3s, they're the same ones I took to Newcastle for Great North Run. I'm still a little bit, they've still got remnants from Great North Run on it, walking across the field at the end. I'm still undecided if I'm going to wear these, mainly because I'm a little bit nervous. I wore Adios Pro 3s for New York, when I ran New York Marathon, and after that I had my foot injury, so I'm a little bit nervous to wear them, just in case the same thing happens again. But these are a different pair. These are the ones I've worn so many times. Like after the marathon there'll be like 250 kilometers in them. I wore them for Great North Run like 3 weeks ago and they were fine, so I'm hoping that they will be okay. They are a slightly different pair. These are a unisex version rather than the women's fit, so they are slightly wider, so I'm hoping they're going to be a little bit better. That is my plan, to probably wear these, but that is still subject to change. Got also my headphones. These are my Shox, and they are Shox Open Run. They are the mini version. They will be coming in my rucksack with me. And then we've got race kit. There is still something else I need to add to this, and that is my water bottles for my naked band. This is my race kit plus a couple of other random little bits. So I've got a poncho in case the weather forecast changes and it might rain on race day. I've got this just taped to the start line to keep dry. Also got some pins, my safety pins for the race, so I can pin my number. I'm also undecided on what top or anything I'm going to wear, so I've got this one. This is a brand new Adidas one. Again, I've not worn it yet, so that's a TBD. I've also got sports bra, socks. Some of this is just spares, to be honest. I will talk you through my race day kit of choice in a moment. So yeah, I've just got a couple of options for race day kit in here, but my likely kit of choice is going to be New Balance sports bra. That might change to the Nike one, but that's fine. Socks, my Versus socks. Basically, do you remember what I wore for Great North Run? Basically that. I've got the rainbow saw top. The benefit of this one is it's really bright and colourful, so hopefully that means I'll stand out if mum and dad are looking for me. So I've got that for underwear. Cap, 2XU running cap, and my trusty Sweaty Betty power shorts. I've got that. Those are that is my like race day kit basically. Plus, as well as that, I've got naked band. I've spoken about it before, but that will have all my gels in, and my water bottle, and a water bottle at least. So that is that. Right, and then my slight dilemma, moving on, is I've literally just had these arrive today. No, they came on Saturday, but I've been away. So my running coaching team have released a new kit which has arrived in time for Berlin. The vest, which would be the likely option of what I would wear. I've also got it in a t-shirt, which means I've now actually got a dilemma of, do I wear this one on race day instead? Now, I'd love to wear it because it's such a cool vest, such a cool colour, but dilemma is, I've not worn it before, let alone for a marathon. And also I don't think it's as stand out as my rainbow top. So those are the dilemmas. I will probably take them with me and then decide nearer the time. But anyway, that is the bulk of that. And then lastly, I have got my liquids bag, which has got all my energy gels in. So again, if you are running a marathon and you're going by plane, you should put your liquids, your energy gels in your liquids bag, because they are technically classed as a liquid. And again, this is something I don't really want to risk losing or having any issues with. So I do have 10 of my energy gels in here. That is the exact number that I need for race day. So I might put a couple of spares in my suitcase to go in the hold, just so I have got a couple of spares, or I might see if I can fit 1 or 2 spares in here. Because the problem is, if I have any issues getting these to Berlin, I don't rate my chances of being able to pick up any more of these. Yes, granted, I probably could pick up Maurten gels at the expo. I've used Maurten gels, they should be fine. I've just practiced with the SIS ones. So at the end, worst comes worst, if anything happened to these, I would probably be okay. But I don't want to risk it. Hence why they're coming in my rucksack with me. I've also got a Tupperware. At the moment there's a couple of snacks in there. But I'm going to, as soon as I get through security, these are going in this Tupperware, because I don't want to risk squishing them. These are the gels that I had this squished issue with at Great North Run a few years back. So I don't want a repeat of that, especially in something as crucial as a marathon. So that is my plan for that. So that is my rucksack for the plane. And then we're going to move on to the running stuff I've currently got in my suitcase. Right, next up, suitcase. So again, I will go back through this probably on Wednesday, just to make sure there's nothing extra I want to take or anything that I want to take out of here. But first of all, we have got an old jumper. I'm going to take this to the start line. It's looking quite chilly on Sunday morning, so I think I'm going to appreciate this. I'll wear it to the start and then get rid of it. That is the plan for that. Also, I have got my oofs, oofers, I don't know how you say them, oofs. I've got a couple of pairs of these because I absolutely love them. I wear them like inside the house all the time. And when I did New York, I forgot mine and I really regretted it. So I've got my oofs with me this time. Also got a few other bits. So in here I have got porridge pot for race day breakfast. I have then got a couple of snacks. So I've just got an oat bar, a squares bar, a few packs of these Welch fruit snacks, and I've also got a couple of Maurten bars. Just so I've got snacks to take with me, and yeah, keep as fueled up as I possibly can. I have then also got, I bought this ahead of time, premature maybe, but my mum bought it for me, more like Berlin Marathon jumper. Plan is to wear this after I've run the race. I'm not going to allow myself to wear it beforehand because I feel like that's just cursing things. I have then also got my Brooks Ghosts. I will be doing a little run on the Saturday, so I've got the Ghosts with me just for that, but also I can wear them for the marathon if I decide to do that. I have also then got my sun cream in here and got another little random packing cube of random bits. So enter the realm of random bits. Jelly babies, Colin the Caterpillars, Fizzy Pigtails, Vaseline for my toes, more pins in case I lose the other ones. Also got a few random sandwich bags, partly so I can put some sweets in them to give to mum and dad, but also in case it rains and I can take one for my phone. I've got Gaviscon. I think I mentioned before, sometimes I get heartburn, or sometimes energy gels give me heartburn, so I'm going to put a couple of these in my shorts on race day just so I have got them. Hair bubbles, compression socks, as a just in case for any reason I decide I want them on race day. I don't think I will, but then I've got them in my gym. If you're a runner, you'll know what I mean. Thankfully I don't have too many issues, but I'm taking them just in case. A couple of packs of tissues, so I'll take them to the start line because Portaloos, toilets, no toilet roll, and also because I tend to get quite runny nose when running, so I'll take some tissues with me too. I've also got a Tailwind recovery mix stick thing. I'm not sure if I'm going to use it, but at least then I've got it if I want it. So that is that. Let's just put all of these bits away. And then lastly, you don't need to see all my other random bits, I've also then just got a packing cube of other running clothes. As I said, I think I will end up slimming this down. In fact, I'm 99% sure I will end up slimming this down. But let's go through it. So I have got, again, I've got a Berlin Marathon jacket. I figured I might want to wear this at the finish, at the end, so got that with me. Also got, this is my London Marathon. It's like a fleece, kind of like fleecy lined top layer thing. I figured that might be good for the finish line. I've got another cap. This will be the first thing that can go because I don't really need two caps. I've then also got a jacket. It's supposed to possibly rain for Saturday when I'm going to go for a shakeout run. So I've got the jacket, and then I've just got a variety of other sports bras, shorts, tops, socks in that. But again, that can all be slimmed down. I'm not working on Wednesday, so I can quite happily do that. But that is, oh no, there's one more thing really to share. In fact, let's just do it now. Deep heat, pain relief, back patches. When I did London a couple of years ago, I had the most awful back pain afterwards, so I ended up using these for several days. So I figured if I got them with me, I've got them, and then I've got them if I want them. I didn't need them after New York, but plan is I'll have them with me, so I've got them. But yeah, I'm just going to pack this away and then we'll have another little bit of a chat about how I'm feeling about everything, I guess. I did just realise I've forgotten a couple of bits in my suitcase. As I mentioned, I might put a couple more energy gels, a couple of spare energy gels in my suitcase so that I have got some spares with me as a precaution, just in case. And then I've also got a Lucozade, a bottle of Lucozade. I'm as yet unsure whether I'm going to actually bother taking this. I kind of have sipped on these. Like, I sipped on one pre-Great North Run. I sipped on one a couple of weeks back when I did my 32k run. So I might just take this to the start. And then also, lastly, when we're taking this with me, I'm running Berlin Marathon. It's my own place, but I am doing a little bit of charity fundraising for it at the same time. My mum was diagnosed with myeloma just over a year ago, so I'm doing a little bit of fundraising for Myeloma UK. And while I don't think I'm going to wear this on race day, just because it's not that I don't want to represent them, it's more that I want to wear something that I'm comfortable with, that I'm happy with, that I'm not representing them in terms of my place is not funded by them, therefore I feel no guilt in not wearing this. But mum and dad wanted me to take it with me so that I could at least have a picture in it at the finish or something. So that's going to come with me. Again, it takes up literally no space, so it's fine. But yeah, packed all of that away. I thought it was time to have a little chat, I guess, about how I'm feeling about next week. So I still don't think it's quite dawned on me that I'm running a marathon in like 6 days time. Hopefully this time next week I'll be a 3-time marathoner, and hopefully be the proud owner of a new marathon PB. It doesn't really still feel quite real that it's marathon week. I think because I've had so much disappointment in the lead up to marathon trainings that I've never wanted to sort of believe that it was going to happen until it actually happened. So I think that's got something to do with it, that I didn't want to get my hopes up nor excited about the fact that I was going to hopefully go and run this marathon. Yeah, because just the upset if it goes wrong would have been huge for me, I guess, is part of it. But I'm kind of telling myself that I've got to remember I'm in so much better of a position going into this marathon than I was before I ran New York last year, before I ran London 2 years prior. When I ran New York, I'd only run, I think I'd run twice over the half marathon distance within training. But this time round, I've run more than a half marathon about 5 times in training. So that's got to be a good thing. And equally, when I went into London, I did that off not running further than a half marathon without the knowledge and experience behind my back that I've got now. And I think what scares me the most for Berlin as well is this strict cut-off time, this strict 6 hours 15 cut-off. But I just got to remind myself, like, I went into London very early on in my running journey. I didn't have the experience running longer distance that I have got now. So I don't know why I'm worried about it, because I shouldn't be. Like, if I can run my first marathon where I didn't have anywhere near as much training in 6 hours, 3 minutes, I think it was, 6 hours, 3 minutes, then there's absolutely no reason why I should be worried that I can't run Berlin in that time. So that is one thing about it as well. But yeah, I think I'm definitely in a much better place going into Berlin than I have been for my 2 previous marathons. I mean, in this training block alone, I've PB'd over a half marathon, 10k and 5k. I PB'd in 5k basically right at the start of the training block, PB'd in 10k, kind of middle-ish training block, and then I've PB'd at half marathon like 2 weeks ago. So again, all of that is stuff to make sure I hold on to and to remind myself that I'm so much stronger than I was. But it doesn't help that small element of doubt creeping in at the same time. But also at the same time, I think I'm excited. Also, the fact that I'm not feeling massively nervous about it right now is also a good thing. It also shows that I probably know that I'm relatively ready for it. And I think because the training has gone pretty well, I can't not look forward to it, if that makes sense. It's what they call, isn't it, what they call like your victory lap, because you've done all the hard work. And actually it's true. If you've ever run a marathon, you'll know what I mean by this, but also if you are ever going to train for a marathon, hopefully you'll understand this as you go. But the hardest part of training for a marathon is the training. It is all those solo runs, that getting up early, that commitment, that dedication. Because it is a lot. Like, you literally, like, you're literally like giving 3 months of your life, possibly even up to 4 months of your life of running, like committing to that long run every weekend. It's hard to not let it consume you, basically. But the actual race day is just accumulation of all that training, all those early mornings, all those 6 a.m. starts, all those long runs. So I know that I should hold on to the fact that this is actually the easy bit in some ways. Just gonna run 10k more than I've actually run in training. But you've got to remember, you'll have the crowd, you'll have the atmosphere. I'll have less tired legs. So it should all be fine. I'm also I'm feeling a little bit happier going into it now because my cold is definitely more or less shifted. Another day or two and I think I'll be pretty much back to normal. So that is also a good thing too, because yeah, I'm just thanking everything that it happened last week and not this week, and hopefully we will go into the race this week feeling chilled and happy, and yeah, just at the end of the day, I just want to run the best that I can on the day. I think that is what I've got to remember. Obviously I don't know this like what's going to be thrown at me. Like when I did London and when I did New York, I had most horrendous stomach pains, which I think was stress related. So I'm just really hoping this time around it doesn't happen, because it's not happened in training. Like, I don't know where it's going to come from if it does. But just hopefully it will be okay. And yeah, hopefully we'll get through it. And hopefully I'll come out with a new PB at the end. So yeah, this will probably be the last that I record really in heading into Berlin. I will obviously try and take you with me as best I can, but I'm really not good at remembering to film things. But yeah, hopefully it will all be fine. And as I said, take you with me and let's go run my 3rd marathon. Also, I'm putting this on record, I'm not planning running a marathon next year. It's not that I don't want to, it's just, I don't know, I'm just not sure I want to commit to another marathon at this point. I'll probably be saying something completely different on Sunday, just you wait. But they can be expensive, don't get me wrong, unless you're going to run a local marathon. They are expensive in terms of the training, you know, getting to the start line, if you're travelling to one, the accommodation, all the fueling, and yeah, they're just mentally, physically and emotionally draining too. The marathon training, as I said, is so draining. So yeah, as I said, we'll wrap up now. I keep saying I'm going to wrap up, but I haven't. But yeah, I will hopefully see you next in Berlin.